Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from my brand Pampered Polishes. So last year I put out 12 Disney collections. Everything was a one batch release. I didn't plan on restocking anything simply because at the beginning of this year I was going to bring back most popular polishes and or most requested polishes to come back. So that's what we're doing here today. I brought back 10 polishes from this last year that was released. I put up a poll in my Facebook group and that's how things were kind of calculated. There were a couple polishes that were voted for that the ingredients were no longer all available, so those ones were out. And then there was a poll option that said all of the white Crowleys, which is obviously not doable since there was at least one in each collection. So what I did was set aside 4 spaces from in this 10 polish release. I set aside 4 spaces and told my husband and kids to each pick one. So the white Crowleys were 100% their choices, and then the rest were voted on as far as what had ingredients available, if that makes sense. So all of these polishes will go up on sale on January 14th at noon Eastern time. In the description box, I will link the Pampered Polishes site. I'll link the business Instagram page that I have, and then I will link my swatching Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. Hi, voiceover Timberland here. I am just popping in real quick to say that the last month was hectic. Whenever I was going through and picking polishes to restock based on voting and everything like that, I thought I was bringing back a polish that was asked for. Turns out I got that polish wrong, my own polish. So in lieu of that, I am still bringing that polish back. It was I Want Adventure. I'm still bringing I Want Adventure back, which you'll see in this video. However, I also will be bringing back the Enchanted Rose, so that will be available on the site as well. I didn't put it in this video because it literally took me way too long to realize that I was calling I Want Adventure the Enchanted Rose. So both will be available on the site in this restock, and only one will be in this video though. So anyway, the Enchanted Rose is coming back as well, and let's continue with the video. So in this re-release collection, there are 10 polishes, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have All I Need Is a Chance, and this is a white Crowley with a rainbow of metallic micro flakes. Here's our first coat of All I Need Is a Chance. This has my typical white Crowley formula, pretty opaque here on this first coat with a ton of flaky payout. With my white Crowleys, I personally achieve full opacity in 2 coats, but I guess depending on your application, you might end up wanting or opting to do a 3rd. I think the formula is good. No running, pulling, or standing. You do get an abundance of these flakes out, and it takes no manipulation whatsoever to spread them out evenly and easily across the nail. Like I said, I'm stopping here in 2 coats. I do recommend going in for top coat. It is going to dry dull, and some of these flakes can dry with the slightest bit of texture, but 1 coat of a regular top coat should smooth everything out and bring it to a plump, glossy finish. These also look really wonderful matte, and removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of All I Need Is a Chance. Next up we have Big Summer Blowout, and this is a clear glitter topper full of metallic blue, purple, and silver glitter. Here's our first coat of Big Summer Blowout. So on 2 nails, I'm going to layer this over my natural naked nail in 3 coats, just to show you what that looks like. And then on 2 nails, I'm going to use it as a topper over this kind of turquoise base. If you wanted 100% full opacity, you could sponge this one on, but I personally like it in 2 coats or as a topper. I do think with thicker chunky glitter like this, it gets thick on the nails with 3 coats, but I did want to show you what it looks like built up to opacity. This is glitter, so it is going to dry with some texture. I do recommend going in for a thicker top coat to smooth this out, just to hide any of that texture, but if you like to use glitter smoothers, I do stand by those as well. And since this is also glitter, it will be difficult to remove. But there are 1 and 3 coats of Big Summer Blowout. Up next we have DeVille, and this is a clear to black thermal loaded with metallic red flakes. Here's our first coat of DeVille. This is one of 2 thermals in this re-release. I have zero idea where my hairdryer is, so I'm doing my absolute best with my warm cup of coffee that I had next to me and a thing of ice water to kind of show you transition during the video. However, I did capture it on photos. But I think the formula on this is good. It does transition to clear, so in that warm state, it will never be 100% opaque. However, in the cold state, in its black state, I did have full opacity in 2 coats. It just looks a little funky here because I was warm and cold and trying to manipulate it with nothing to manipulate the color transition with. I do recommend top coat. It is going to dry dull, and again, this flake can dry with the slightest bit of texture, but removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of DeVille. Up next we have Ice is My Life, and this is a white crelly full of blue and purple metallic flakes. Here's our first coat of Ice is My Life. This one is, again, a white crelly, so it's got the same formula as All I Need Is a Chance. This one is the one that pretty much started the white crelly flaky combination in this proportion to everybody loving them. So I love this polish and I give a lot of credit to this polish. Formula is, I think, good, not too thick or too thin, smooth application, a nice even and easy distribution of these flakes. Full opacity here in 2 coats, just like the rest of the flaky filled polishes. This is going to dry with the slightest bit of texture, so I do recommend going in for top coat, either matte or glossy, just to smooth everything out. And it is all flakes, there are no glitters, so removal is easy, and there are 2 coats of Ice is My Life. Next up we have Make It Pink, Make It Blue. This is a cold reactive thermal that goes from a pink to a denim, and it's loaded with holographic flakes. Here's our first coat of Make It Pink, Make It Blue. This is the other thermal in the collection. Again, I don't know where my hairdryer is, so I'm working with a hot cup of coffee and a cold cup of water. I'm not dipping my fingers in my coffee, I'm just hanging it over the steam to hopefully allow some kind of warmth transition here. I did get full opacity in 2 coats. These hollow flakes do spread out easily and evenly across the nail, and I did get full opacity in 2 coats. You'll want some top coat to bring this one back to life and add some shine, and removal will be easy. And in my swatch photo, it looks like it's matte, and that's because the steam from my coffee cup made it look so, but there are 2 coats. Next up we have Part of Your World, and this is a white crelly with purple, red, and green metallic flakes. Here's our first coat of Part of Your World. This one is the same white crelly. I guess I could have swatched all the white crellies next to each other. I'm going to put that in the banner, all the white crellies next to each other so you can see what they look like side by side. They are severely different while also being in a white crelly base with flakies. But the formula is the same. 2 coats for full coverage, no running, no pulling, no staining, and even easy application, getting these flakes spread out completely across the nail. 2 coat coverage, again, I do recommend using a top coat, glossy or matte, just to smooth everything out and to add some evenness back to this polish, give it a nice finished polished look. And since this is all flakes and there are no glitters, removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of Part of Your World. Next up we have Seeing Spots, and this is a clear base Aurora topper that goes from a red to a green, and this one is also packed with black hex glitter. Here's our first coat of Seeing Spots on 2 nails. I'm going to layer this up on 2 coats on its own, and then I'm going to layer it over a deeper navy blue on my remaining 2 fingers. This one I have always preferred to wear on its own. I love how this looks on its own. I do love how it looks as a topper, but on its own it is wildly stunning. I don't get 100% full opacity in 2 coats, but I love a little bit of a visible nail line with this. You can see all of the glitters, all of the shifty shimmer in this. It is glitter, so you are going to want top coat to smooth everything out and add some shine back to it, and since it is glitter, it's also going to require some scrubbing when removing. but there are 1 and 2 coats of Seeing Spots. Next up we have Thanks for Noticing Me, and this is a pastel gray crelly loaded with holographic flakes, pink metallic flakes, and a black matte flake. Here's our first coat of Thanks for Noticing Me, and if you feel like you just saw this polish last month, you would be right. I was very surprised at how many people loved this. I do love a gray polish, I do love acrylic, and I do love flakies, but you guys really blew me out of the water with this one. Formula is the same as the white acrylics, smooth application, easy application, and a nice distribution of flakies with full coverage in 2 coats. And just similar to those as well, you are going to want top coat to finish this one off. It is going to dry with some texture because of these flakes. They're a metallic flake, so they're a little bit of a harder material. So it does require some top coat to finish this one off, and removal will be easy. None of these flakes stick to your nails as if they were glitter. They do remove very easily. So there are 2 coats of Thanks for Noticing Me. Up next we have I Want Adventure, and this is a soft pink holographic metallic base with a bright gold shimmer. Here's our first coat of I Want Adventure. This is the little sneaker who snuck in here, and I thought this was voted on to return. However, it was a different polish in this same Beauty and the Beast collection, and my overwhelmed mind with Christmas, holidays, breaks, all of the things just got completely lost in the sauce and read what I wanted to read because this was a favorite from the collection for me. I got 2 coats full coverage on this one. She is still making her comeback. I'm just also restocking the one that was actually asked for. There are some brush strokes through this once it is wet, and when it's fully dry, those do go away, so fear not. The shimmer that's in here is very bright and very vibrant, and it does stand out really nicely. Removal will be easy, it dries glossy and without texture, so there are 2 coats of I Want Adventure. And lastly for today we have Village Crazy Lady, and this is a white curly base packed with green, blue, and teal metallic flakes. And here's our first coat of the Village Crazy Lady. This one does have the same formula as the other white crellies in this re-release. Smooth application, nice coverage on the first coat, full coverage on 2 coats, even and easy distribution of these flakes whilst also being in abundance. So a nice easy application overall. You are going to want top coat to finish this off, just like the rest of the polishes. I absolutely always recommend top coat. Even if something dries glossy and plump all on its own, it does protect your manicure and it extends the longevity of the polish. So you will want top coat for the texture and to bring some life back to this, and since this is all flakes, removal will be easy breezy, beautiful. They're not going to stick to your nail like a glitter, they come off with ease. So there are 2 coats of the Village Crazy Lady. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.